Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Journalist provides update on Bukayo Saka's future at Arsenal amid Manchester City interest. Journalist Dina Jones has told GiveMeSport that Arsenal are confident that Bukayo Saka will be going absolutely nowhere, despite reported interest from Manchester City. Saka has been a standout performer for the Gunners this season, alongside his attacking partner in Gabriel Martinelli. The Brazilian winger put pen to paper on a new deal this week and extended his stay at the Emirates Stadium until at least 2027. Arsenal fans will be hoping that Saka follows suit, especially with Ben Jacobs reporting that Pep Guardiola's side are interested in signing him. But it seems that Arsenal are confident they will keep hold of the 21-year-old as well as the rest of their key players. Jones provided an update on Saka's long-term future at Arsenal and suggested that Arteta's men will not allow any of their star players to leave anytime soon. He said, "The core of that squad are going absolutely nowhere. Arsenal are confident that they are not someone like Saka. They know that the vultures will be circling if there is any sign of discontent or any sign of him becoming available." Arsenal would have probably hoped that Saka would have put pen to paper by now, with talks over a new deal seemingly dragging out. The youngster's current deal is set to run until the end of the next season, meaning the Gunners could be in a dangerous position come the summer. That being said, Saka seems more than happy with the way things are going at Arsenal right now, with Arteta's side leading the race for the Premier League title. Arsenal will be hoping to tie him and William Saliba down on a new long-term deal sooner rather than later, with the Frenchman's contract also set to run until the end of next season. Former Arsenal scout says Martin Odegaard is now one of the best in the world. Former Arsenal scout Francis Cagigao has been speaking to Spanish outlet AS, and he has labeled Martin Odegaard as one of the best creative midfielders in the world. Odegaard has been outstanding for Arsenal this season, and he is really taking his game to another level under Mikel Arteta. The 24-year-old was handed the captain's armband before the season got underway, and he certainly hasn't been weighed down by the extra responsibility. The Norwegian playmaker was brought in for just £30 million from Real Madrid back in 2021 after a successful loan spell in North London. Now, Cagigao feels he would have actually been the ideal long-term replacement for Luka Modric at the Bernabeu. Cagigao worked as part of the Arsenal scouting team for over 20 years and has played a key role in identifying some superb talents over the years. The Spaniard has provided an insight into his time in North London in an interview with us, and he claims Odegaard is now one of the best in the world in his position. He said, "Surely yes, on whether Odegaard could have replaced Modric, but they are different as players. Odegaard was affected by arriving so young at Madrid. I had a lot of responsibility and pressure for a guy with little experience. That shirt weighs a lot, and a footballer needs a point of maturity to consecrate himself in their demanding club. Perhaps it was too soon. He is now one of the best creative midfielders in the world." Arsenal certainly benefited from Odegaard's struggles in Madrid, as the fee they paid for him is looking like a steal at this moment in time. He's been arguably the best attacking midfielder in the league this season, scoring 8 times and registering 6 assists in the Premier League. It just didn't work out for the Norwegian in La Liga, but Madrid must be regretting their decision to sell him now. Nketiah admits Arsenal's standards dropped against Everton. Arsenal striker Nketiah admits their standards dropped in the 1-0 loss to Everton, but he gives the Toffees credit for how they played the game. Mikel Arteta's side went into the match in fine form, having lost just a single game all season. Fans expected them to get another routine win in the fixture, but that never happened, and they returned to London empty-handed. Everton enjoyed a surprising win thanks to some fine tactical work from Sindaichi, but it was an off day for many Arsenal players who simply had no answer to what Everton provided them in the fixture. Nketiah said, as reported by Arsenal's official website, "It was a difficult game. They made it very tough. Personally, we weren't at the standard we needed to be at, and we have got to improve and make sure we bounce back in our next game. Credit to them, they put out a good game plan and executed it well. I felt like we just didn't execute ours to the best of our ability. We were a bit sloppy at times. Our standards obviously dropped in that game, and it's hard to remember a time that Arsenal struggled in a game, as was the case on Saturday. However, that should not stop us from getting back to winning ways in the next match. Instead, it should serve as a motivation. BBC pounded amazed by display of Arsenal target Kaoru Mitoma. Gareth Crooks has loaded reported Arsenal target Mitoma and told BBC Sport that the Japan international may be Brighton's most exciting player since the 1970s. Brighton certainly had little problem moving on from Leandro Trossard, who of course joined Arsenal during the January transfer window. The Seagulls have won 3 and drawn 1 of their 4 Premier League games since losing to the Gunners, and Mitoma has been a key part of their success, scoring 4 in their last 5. That included a winner against Bournemouth on Saturday, and that prompted the Crooks to include the 25-year-old in his team of the week, and he suggested that few Brighton players have made quite the same impact on him as Mitoma has done recently. As is the case with most Brighton players, it seems Mitoma is attracting attention. It's almost remarkable that he had not made his debut for the Seagulls before this season. Reports from 90 Minute have previously suggested that Arsenal won the forward, and Fabrizio Romano has more recently claimed to Out Offside that he could cost more than £35 million. On current form, that is a potential bargain. He is not only scoring goals, but he is also causing all kinds of problems for defenders with his clever movement and blistering pace. Interestingly, FBref lists Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka amongst the similar players to Mitoma. Meanwhile, Kingsley Coman and Jack Grealish are also mentioned. Arsenal may still be on the lookout for greater depth in the summer. They have signed Trossard, but they potentially need more as they prepare to return to the Champions League next season. Mitoma's asking price is only going to increase if this current form continues, and it would be no surprise if there were indeed plenty more goals to come. Arsenal target Ruben Neves, now almost certain to leave Wolves. Report Arsenal target Ruben Neves is almost certain to leave Wolves this coming summer, with The Athletic reporting that the midfielder has not been persuaded to sign a new contract at Molineux. Neves is absolutely realizing the frightening potential that he was showing at Porto. Of course, it left many baffled when he ended up joining Wolves while they were in the Championship, but the 25-year-old has gone on to establish himself as one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. He has made nearly 240 appearances in all competitions for Wolves, and he is enjoying his best campaign yet this term. His strike against Liverpool at the weekend was his 5th goal of the season, and surprisingly, his form is attracting attention. Journalist Dean Jones recently told GiveMeSport that Neves remains on Arsenal's wish list, and it seems that a move is on the cards. The Athletic does not share where Neves might go. However, they report that he is almost definitely going to be on the move in the summer. He has rejected offers of a new contract, and Wolves reportedly cannot afford to let Neves' deal run into its final year. That should certainly put teams such as Arsenal on alert. The Gunners did sign another midfielder in the January transfer window. However, Jorginho is surely unlikely to be the long-term answer at the Emirates, so it may be a situation they look to address in the summer should the right opportunity present itself. Neves' contract situation opens the door for a potential bargain. He is a brilliant player and shining as a leader for Wolves this season. Previous reports have suggested that he is valued at around £50 million, and there will be plenty of Arsenal fans who will be extremely disappointed if he moves elsewhere at the end of the campaign. Arsenal is still in the running to sign Premier League midfielder Yuri Tielemans. Despite targeting other midfielders in the last two transfer windows, Arsenal has still not given up on adding Yuri Tielemans to their squad. The midfielder is running down his contract at Leicester City and will be a free agent in the summer after refusing to extend his contract with the Foxes. This means several clubs will circle the Belgian in the next few months, but it seemed Arsenal had turned their attention towards other targets. However, CBS journalist Ben Jacobs reveals the Gunners still hold an interest in the former Monaco man. He tells Team Talk, "Come the summer, if Tielemans is available on a free transfer, there will be a variety of clubs looking at him. Arsenal will still be there for sure, and we know that Tielemans very much wanted that move a year ago and was hopeful that something might come off throughout the summer, but Arsenal moved in a different direction." Tielemans has been one of the finest midfielders in the Premier League in the last few seasons, and the Belgian clearly has the pedigree to do well for us. It's somewhat surprising that we have not pushed to sign him in the last two transfer windows, but this summer is a very good time to add him to our squad for free. Gunners prefer move for Declan Rice over Moses Caicedo. The Daily Mail reports that Arsenal have now decided they would rather sign West Ham United star over Brighton's Moses Caicedo in the summer. Mikel Arteta managed to bolster his midfield options before the January window closed after bringing in Jorginho from Chelsea. The Gunners turned to the 31-year-old after it became clear that Brighton would not be allowing Caicedo to leave last month. Sky Sports reports that Arsenal even had two bids knocked bad for the 21-year-old, with the second worth up to £70 million. Despite Brighton pricing Arteta's side out of a move for the Ecuador midfielder, it seemed likely that they would return for him in a few months' time. But Arsenal could prioritise a move for Rice over the youngster instead. The Daily Mail reports that Arsenal have emerged as surprise runners in the race to sign Rice, and the North Londoners have identified him as their top target. Arsenal are prepared to break their club record fee to sign Rice, and he is said to be valued at around £80 million, but West Ham will want a fee north of £100 million, despite their chances of receiving this kind of money for the 24-year-old being deemed slim. The Mail notes that Arsenal are now set to turn their full attention to signing the Hammers star in the summer, despite going all out for Caicedo last month. Rice has been described as a magnificent midfielder, and he looks set to secure a big move away from East London this summer. The England star would be a brilliant addition to Arsenal's midfield and could even be the long-term successor to Thomas Partey. Of course, the club have brought in Jorginho now, but it's likely that the former Chelsea man will be more of a stopgap signing for the Gunners as they push for the Premier League title. It's still early days in terms of Jorginho's Arsenal career, but he didn't get off to the best start as Arteta's side lost 1-0 to Everton on Saturday. Gary Neville makes big Arsenal claim after seeing Manchester City lose at Tottenham. Gary Neville believes Manchester City will be psychologically worse off than Arsenal after both teams lost this weekend. Arsenal were overcome by a Sindaichi-inspired Everton side at Goodison Park. James Tarkowski got the goal, and in the end, the Gunners couldn't answer. However, Man City couldn't capitalize yesterday either. They lost to Tottenham 1-0 with another inept performance. And speaking on his Sky Sport podcast after the game, Neville believes Arsenal will have one up on City thanks to this weekend when it comes to their mental state. He said, "I think so. I think Arsenal played the way they play. They could have scored goals. I think Goodison Park is a bit of a bogey ground for them. Mikel Arteta hasn't won there in the time he's been at Arsenal. Saint Daichi, new manager, new lease of life. I thought Arsenal played well in the game. I thought Arsenal played as Arsenal play, but lost the game. But I don't think City played the way City play and lost the game. Psychologically, I think they end this weekend in a worse place than they started." Mikel Arteta might have been thinking how he would go into the training ground and lift spirits, but in the end, perhaps City have already done the job for him. City are simply not there at the moment, and if Arsenal win that game in hand, then surely they won't throw it away now. Arsenal have one hand on the trophy at the moment. Of course, there are big games still to come, including against City, but they surely can't throw it away. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.